Some houses are built with bricks and cement. Others are built with secrets. They stand quietly. They wait patiently. And when the right person walks through the door, they never let them leave the same way they entered. This house came with a warning. I did not listen. And the night I stepped inside, it decided I belonged to it. Pause. Listen carefully. Because this is not just a story about a house. It is a story about desperation, about curiosity, and about a single decision that changes everything. Once that decision is made, there is no undoing it. My name is Ethan Cole. I was not special. I was not lucky. I was just another man trying to survive a life that never seemed to move forward. At 32 years old, my life felt unfinished, like a sentence that ended too early. Every morning, I woke up tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep could fix. The kind that settles deep inside your chest. Bills covered my small kitchen table. Electric bills, rent reminders, letters stamped with words like final notice. They stared at me like silent judges. My phone only rang when someone wanted something from me. A landlord asking for rent, a creditor asking for patience. No one ever called just to ask how I was doing. I worked night shifts at a warehouse on the edge of the city. I lifted heavy boxes under flickering lights. The work was repetitive, mindless. But that was the point. If my body was busy, my mind did not have time to remember everything I had failed at. I once believed my life would change. I once believed effort mattered. But belief is expensive, and after years of disappointment, I had spent every last bit of it. The letter arrived on a Tuesday morning. It was slipped under my apartment door sometime before sunrise. No knock, no sound, just silence. I noticed it as I was about to leave for work. A plain envelope resting on the floor. No return address, just my name written neatly on the front. Ethan Cole. I stared at it for a long moment. Something about it felt deliberate, careful. I almost ignored it. I had learned not to expect good news. But curiosity is a quiet voice. It whispers when everything else is loud. I picked up the envelope and opened it slowly. Inside was a single sheet of paper. No logos, no legal stamps, just words. It said I had inherited a house. The address was written clearly. 13 Blackwood Lane. The letter stated that I was the sole heir. No explanation, no background. It was signed by a man named Samuel Hawthorne. The name meant nothing to me. I read it again and again. Taped neatly to the bottom of the page was a single key. Old, metal. It felt heavier than it should have, colder than the room around me. For the first time in years, my heart did something unfamiliar. It hesitated. I sat on the edge of my bed and stared at the letter. My thoughts raced. Was it a mistake? A scam? I searched the name online. Samuel Hawthorne. Nothing appeared. No photos, no social media profiles, no obituaries. It was as if the man had never existed. I searched the address. The house was real. Old. Isolated. Worth more money than I had ever seen. My hands shook slightly as I put my phone down. Someone I did not know had left me a house. Not money, not instructions, just a house. That night, sleep refused to come. My mind replayed the letter over and over. By morning, curiosity had won the argument. I took the key, and I drove. The city slowly faded behind me as I followed the directions. Traffic thinned. Buildings disappeared. Trees grew closer together. The road narrowed. The air felt different, heavier. The closer I got, the quieter everything became. Even the radio lost its signal. I turned it off. Silence filled the car. I noticed my grip tightening on the steering wheel. A part of me wanted to turn around. But desperation is louder than fear, and desperation had been my companion for years. Blackwood Lane sat at the edge of town. The road ended there, as if the world did not care to continue beyond it. The house stood alone, tall, still. Its dark windows reflected the cloudy sky. They did not look empty. They looked aware. I parked the car and stepped out. The air felt colder, not unpleasant, just intentional. I stood there longer than I meant to. Staring at the front door, something deep inside me whispered to leave. I ignored it. As I approached the house, a voice stopped me. An old woman stood across the street. I had not noticed her before. She did not wave. She did not smile. She simply spoke. "You should not stay the night." Her voice was calm, certain. I laughed nervously and told her it was my house. She shook her head slowly. "No," she said, "it only thinks it is." Then she turned away and walked back inside her home. The silence returned, and suddenly the house felt closer than before. The key turned easily in the lock. The door opened with a slow creak. The air inside smelled old, not rotten, remembered. Furniture rested beneath white sheets. Dust danced in the dim light. Somewhere deep inside the walls, a clock ticked steadily. I stepped fully inside. Behind me, the door closed. Click. The sound echoed through the house. Final. I reached for the door handle. It did not move. My stomach tightened. That was when I noticed the note on the floor. I picked it up with trembling fingers. 3 words were written clearly. "Midnight decides." The ticking stopped. Upstairs, a door opened by itself. Ending. If you were standing where I was, what would you do? Would you leave before midnight? Or would you stay? The house is listening.